जेल से आने के बाद दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने यह ऐलान किया था कि जब तक दिल्ली की जनता दोबारा अपना समर्थन दे करके हमें नहीं जिताती है, तब तक हम दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री के कुर्सी पर नहीं बैठेंगे। उसी ऐलान के तहत आज मुख्यमंत्री जी ने उपराज्यपाल महोदय को अपना इस्तीफा सौंपा है। साथ ही साथ दिल्ली के अंदर आगे सरकार को संचालित करने के लिए सुबह आम आदमी पार्टी के विधायक मंडल दल की बैठक हुई थी। बैठक में सर्वसम्मति से आतिशी जी को अपना विधानमंडल दल का नेता चुना गया था। हमने आम आदमी पार्टी के विधानमंडल दल का जो फैसला है पार्टी की तरफ से उपराज्यपाल जी को सूचित किया है और साथ ही साथ हमारे विधायक दल की नेता आतिशी जी की तरफ से जल्द सरकार बनाने के लिए दावेदारी प्रस्तुत की गई है। हमने उपराज्यपाल महोदय से निवेदन किया है कि जल्द से जल्द शपथ की तारीख सुनिश्चित की जाए, जिससे कि दिल्ली के अंदर दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों के लिए जो काम है उस काम को आगे बढ़ाया जा सके और साथ ही साथ जो दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने जो काम किया, बिजली का, पानी, स्कूल, अस्पताल, उस पर जो खतरे मंडरा रहे हैं उसको संरक्षित किया जा सके, उसको बचाया जा सके। इन 2 लक्ष्यों को लेकर के सभी पार्टी के विधायक, सभी मंत्री ये शपथ लिए हैं कि जल्द से जल्द नई सरकार के गठन के साथ दिल्ली की जनता के साथ हम अभियान शुरू करेंगे और जल्द से जल्द दिल्ली में चुनाव करा करके दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल को दोबारा मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ दिलाएंगे।
दिल्ली के लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के खिलाफ पिछले 2 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार ने फर्जी आरोप लगाए गए। केंद्र सरकार ने एक के बाद एक करके अपनी सारी एजेंसीज को उनके पीछे छोड़ा। उनको एक झूठे मुकदमे में 6 महीने तक जेल में रखा। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने न सिर्फ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को बरी किया, बल्कि बहुत तीखी टिप्पणी करी केंद्र सरकार की एजेंसीज पर कि केंद्र सरकार की एजेंसीज पिंजरे में बंद एक तोते की तरह हैं और अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की गिरफ्तारी गलत थी, एक दुर्भावना के तहत की गई थी। अगर कोई भी और नेता होता, कोई भी और मुख्यमंत्री होता तो वो तुरंत जाके मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी पर बैठ गया। लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने जो फैसला लिया, शायद ही इस देश के इतिहास में, मैं कहूंगी इस दुनिया के लोकतांत्रिक इतिहास में किसी नेता ने लिया होगा। उन्होंने कहा कि मेरे लिए सिर्फ सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला काफी नहीं है, मुझे दिल्ली की जनता का फैसला चाहिए। मैं दिल्ली की जनता की अदालत में जाऊंगा और अगर दिल्ली की जनता कहेगी कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ईमानदार है तो मैं तभी मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी पे बैठूंगा। और आज इसी तहत अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने अपना इस्तीफा दिया है। ये आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए, हमारे पूरे विधायक दल के लिए, दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए एक दुख का क्षण है। पूरी दिल्ली में लोग अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के इस्तीफे से दुखी हैं, लेकिन साथ ही दिल्ली के लोग इस बात का प्रण ले रहे हैं कि आने वाले चुनाव में वो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को फिर से मुख्यमंत्री बनाना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल जैसा ईमानदार मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होगा तो दिल्ली में बिजली फ्री नहीं मिलेगी। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल जैसा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होगा तो सरकारी स्कूल नहीं अच्छे होंगे। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल जैसा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होगा तो मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बंद हो जाएंगे। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल जैसा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होगा तो महिलाओं को फ्री बस यात्रा नहीं मिलेगी। और इसीलिए आम आदमी पार्टी के सारे विधायक, दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोग इस मुहिम में जुट गए हैं कि आने वाले चुनाव में अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है। लेकिन तब तक, जब तक चुनाव नहीं होता, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने भरोसा कर मुझ पे ये जिम्मेदारी दी है और आने वाले कुछ महीने तक, जब तक ये जिम्मेदारी मेरे पास है, तब तक मेरे 2 काम रहेंगे। एक, ये मुहिम चलाना कि कैसे अरविंद केजरीवाल जी और दिल्ली के हम लोग मिलकर दिल्ली के लोगों के साथ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को फिर से दिल्ली का मुख्यमंत्री बनाएं, और जब तक चुनाव नहीं होते तब तक दिल्ली के लोगों की रक्षा करना कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी षड्यंत्र रचकर दिल्ली के लोगों की बिजली, फ्री बिजली, अच्छे स्कूल, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक में इलाज बंद ना कर दे, ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी रही। और उसी के लिए आज हमने एलजी साहब को पत्र दिया है, सरकार बनाने की दावेदारी का पत्र दिया है, और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि जल्दी आगे का
has officially resigned as the Delhi Chief Minister. Atishi, along with her cabinet ministers, has staked claim. They've asked the Lieutenant Governor to give them a date to swear in terms of Atishi. There are two ranks which are vacant where the Delhi cabinet is concerned. One, of course, will be the one of Atishi, and the other one already was vacant. So two cabinet ministers in the Delhi cabinet will also be filled and will be taking oath. The Lieutenant Governor, who's accepted the resignation of Arvind Kejriwal, will now need to forward it to the President. And after that acceptance from the President, where the signature comes in, only then will a date for oath-taking of the cabinet led by Atishi will be given. In all probability, it does seem that it's not going to happen before the next session of Delhi Assembly, which is only going to take place later on in this week. You just heard Atishi there. First, she and Arvind Kejriwal both had come in together along with other cabinet ministers. Arvind Kejriwal, after tendering in his resignation, left separately, and Atishi, along with the rest of the cabinet ministers, Gopal Rai, came out and addressed the media, saying that they've requested for a date at the earliest for them to take oath, one. Number two, Atishi also once again reiterated that she now has only two jobs in hand as Chief Minister of Delhi. One of that is to make sure that the true person to be the Chief Minister is what she says is Arvind Kejriwal, and she will endeavour and make sure that she does all she can, that he comes back to the Chief Minister's chair. Number two, she said that I will make sure to fight against what she claims is a BJP propaganda and agenda in Delhi to take away all the good that the Aam Aadmi Party has done for the citizens, be it free electricity or schools. Let's immediately cut across right now to my colleague Amit Bhardwaj, who's joining us for more, as well as Nabila. But Amit, coming to you first, the question now, there's a protocol in all of this. Arvind Kejriwal has tendered in his resignation to the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Saxena, who now will have to forward his resignation before it's actually accepted, and a fresh date is given to Atishi and her cabinet for oath-taking.
Absolutely right. You know, in case of Delhi, the things are a bit complicated when compared to the other states here. Unlike the other states where the Chief Minister tenders the resignation to the governor and the whole process of formation of a new government gets triggered. But here what will happen is that first that resignation will be sent to the President via the Home Ministry, and after that, once the President accepts the resignation of Arvind Kejriwal, the process of formation of the new government, that is the government under Atishi, will begin. And that is why, because they didn't want to give any scope of error, any scope that there's no government in the national capital, there's no Chief Minister in the national capital. That is why both the processes were carried out at the same point in time by Aam Aadmi Party led government in the national capital. You had Arvind Kejriwal tendering his resignation, after which he left the LG Secretariat, and after that particular moment you had Atishi taking claim to form government in the national capital. Obviously they have sought time for swearing in ceremony. That process will take some time because these are bureaucratic processes which needs to be followed up. There is a protocol in place. First, the resignation of Arvind Kejriwal will be accepted by the President. That will be notified back to the LG office, and after which the action will be taken on the stakes which has been claimed to form the government by Atishi. So that will happen as well. And which will be eventually followed up by recommendations, new recommendations of inducting the two cabinet berths which have fallen vacant now, considering that you already had one vacant post of SC/ST Welfare Ministry, and now you'll also have one place of one more cabinet minister in the Delhi cabinet, because Atishi, who's already a senior cabinet minister, will be taking charge as the chief minister of Delhi. But yes, there's a protocol which needs to be followed up, which means it could be a couple of days or possibly a week as well, if to complete this entire procedure. Back to you, Preeti.
In all probability, that means, Amit, that we are going to see the next government swear-in under Atishi not before the coming session of the Delhi Assembly.
Well, if the president decides that, everything has to be done quickly and the files are immediately cleared by the president's office as far as the resignation file is concerned, and after that the action is taken on the other file, which is Atishi staking claim to form the government in the national capital. You might have a oath-taking ceremony around 22nd of this month. Otherwise, if things go by the speed that we usually see in the national capital, with a lot of confrontation between the Raj Niwas and the Aam Aadmi Party, in that case, yes, it could be a window of 7 days or more than that. And if that happens, then yes, as you were suggesting, it could be any time on and around or possibly after the Vidhan Sabha session, which has been called by the Aam Aadmi Party, which is slated for 26th and 27th of this particular month. But the Aam Aadmi Party would hope and want that everything gets fastened, everything goes smooth, and that,
right.
On and around 22nd itself, they are able to ensure that Atishi takes over the government. Back to you.
What we can also tell our viewers right now is that this time around, because usually every time we've seen Arvind Kejriwal take oath, it's been a lot of grandstanding. We've seen sometimes even the Ramlila Maidan turned into an oath-taking ceremony venue. All of that's not going to happen, because like Atishi has said multiple times, the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party have said multiple times that this is really no celebration. It's a sad moment, taking over as chief minister, and a job needs to be done. So what we can tell our viewers very safely is what to expect is no grandstanding. It's going to be a very somber oath-taking ceremony. It's not happening anytime soon. As Amit also elucidated, it's a long process. From here on, the resignation, which has been accepted by the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Saxena, he'll forward it to the President. The route goes through the Home Ministry. The President needs to accept it, and then only a date would be given to Atishi to then step in and take oath as the chief minister. Right now, she's clearly chief minister designate, all set to replace and be the successor of Arvind Kejriwal. Let's cut across immediately also now. My colleague Nabila is with us. For more, Nabila, what more can you add? We just saw Atishi come out very somber. First, she went in with Arvind Kejriwal, who tendered in his resignation, came out separately. Then Atishi practically reiterating exactly what she had said this afternoon.
Right, and that was very interesting to see, Preeti, that Atishi, accompanied by Arvind Kejriwal, both drove in together in the black car to the Delhi LG's office. And in just about 15 to 20 minutes, that's roughly about the time that they took there, it appears that Arvind Kejriwal tendered his resignation. And even before the rest of it could complete, or he may have pledged support for Atishi, and immediately decides to leave. And the way he left, of course, was very surprising and shocking for the media personnel here as well, including myself, because he drove out of here in an instant without any security personnel with him, no convoy, no cars accompanying him, and no minister or leader sitting beside him. It was just Arvind Kejriwal inside that black car with his driver, no convoy or escort. He drives out of the Delhi LG office. Clearly now that's a big signal here that he's free. He's now ready to campaign door to door. And from what I see and absorb here, this is a poll bugle sounded by the Aam Aadmi Party, because we've heard what Atishi spoke here. You said it right. She did say almost the same what she spoke right outside the Kejriwal's residence a little earlier today. Here too, she said and insisted that without Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi's model of governance, Kejriwal's model of governance will be derailed. If you want free electricity, then you need Arvind Kejriwal. If you want good education, you need Kejriwal. If you want good hospitals, you need Kejriwal. So we are here to ensure Kejriwal is back as the chief minister the next term. And we have faith that the people of the state will vote for him and give their stamp of approval of his honesty through their vote. So this was said by Gopal Rai, reiterated by Atishi right after him. So interesting to see that this entire campaign of sorts, a build-up right ahead of Delhi Assembly elections, 4 months away, is all around Kejriwal. He's the face of the campaign, he is the issue, and it's all begun from here with Kejriwal resigning, Atishi taking over as the interim.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, viewers, for once, let's put the spotlight on Atishi. Atishi is now the successor, interim chief minister, caretaker chief minister, call her what you may. But she's going to be stepping into the shoes of the Delhi chief minister, and in all probabilities, she will exceed the term of the shortest term that a chief minister has had in Delhi, and that was Sushma Swaraj in 3 months, because it doesn't seem that the elections are going to be called as early as November, as the Aam Aadmi Party would have hoped to. And then it will be a 5-month tenure for Atishi. Now, what does Atishi bring to the table? Also being accomplished in terms of, she's where her education is concerned. She's a Rhodes Scholar, but she's also a woman face where the Aam Aadmi Party is. And most importantly, what works for her in terms of strength is her administrative experience with maximum portfolios, 14 of them. More so, where the workings of Delhi is concerned, the bureaucracy so well entrenched where the Lieutenant Governor's office, she's known how to maneuver her way through that, knows the ins and outs of the bureaucracy, and the governance of Delhi has done it practically as a de facto number 2 when Arvind Kejriwal was in jail. And this would be a huge plus, because then Arvind Kejriwal can completely leave Delhi to her and actually focus in party building, in campaigning where Delhi is concerned. Maybe to look at how things are going in the state of Punjab as well. Big woman face for the Aam Aadmi Party, chosen by Arvind Kejriwal, if you remember, to hoist the tricolour on August 15th. So there was always an indication of that. But the biggest of it all, viewers, has to come with the fact that she is a Kejriwal confidant. There is nothing bigger or bolder in why Atishi was picked over others than the fact that she enjoys the complete confidence of Arvind Kejriwal. And I'll give you an example. Hark all the way back in 2015. Atishi was really not part of the India Against Corruption movement. She was brought into the party fold with the founders of Aam Aadmi Party, Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav. She was seen to be in the Yogendra Yadav, Prashant Bhushan camp. And when, in 2015, both the members were expelled, there were doubts over whether Atishi will remain or walk out with the two. And anticipating that, at that point of time, she was removed as spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. However, Atishi surprised all in the party and wrote an open letter criticizing both Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav and siding with Arvind Kejriwal, picking loyalties, picking a side. And since then, many in the Aam Aadmi Party close to Arvind Kejriwal feel she cleared the first loyalty test. After that, if you talk about the rise of Atishi, she was attached to Manish Sisodia. She was an advisor where the education department was concerned, especially, of her being a Rhodes Scholar. She took her expertise there. She was practically blooded into Delhi governance by Manish Sisodia. There was a time when Arvind Kejriwal was looking to expand the footprint of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that was the time where it was Manish Sisodia who was doing the heavy lifting in Delhi, and assisting Manish Sisodia at that point of time was Atishi. So Atishi has been blooded into the system for many, many years now, and this is the time for her to step in. So above all, yes, administrative experience, yes, she knows bureaucracy, yes, she's a woman face, but above all, the one thing on which she was picked was the confidence of Arvind Kejriwal, the trust of Arvind Kejriwal, and loyalty where the party is concerned. However, there have been weaknesses where Atishi is concerned as well. There is always a question mark whether the top leadership of the party will accept her, and we saw that this time around. We saw it especially when you saw a Gopal Rai, a Saurabh Bhardwaj, or even some other members of the other MLAs of the Aam Aadmi Party come out. They all said she's like a Bharat. Ultimately, the chair is of Arvind Kejriwal. There seemed to be tepid resentment. But all of that now needs to be set aside because they will all have to come together and help her work through as Delhi Chief Minister and be, of course, the leader of her cabinet and the MLAs and the Legislative Party. We're going to continue to get you more where Atishi is concerned, but a lot of politics when it comes down to it where Atishi is in question. And all that politics comes into question the minute her name was announced. The BJP went on to attack her on a war footing, calling her a Naxal, stating that her parents were the ones who actually signed in on the mercy petition of Afzal Guru. Politics. Take a look.
मेरे गुरु अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूं, जिन्होंने मुझे इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी दी और इस जिम्मेदारी के लिए मुझ पे भरोसा किया.
Delhi gets a new chief minister 5 months before polls. Ruling Aam Aadmi Party has picked Arvind Kejriwal's trusted aide Atishi as his successor, but only till next polls. Atishi had been steering governance when Kejriwal was in jail for 5 months. Soon after getting the mantle, Atishi swore allegiance to Kejriwal.
मैं आज ये जरूर कहना चाहती हूँ आम आदमी पार्टी के सभी विधायकों की तरफ से, दिल्ली की 2 करोड़ जनता की तरफ से, कि दिल्ली का एक ही मुख्यमंत्री है और उस मुख्यमंत्री का नाम अरविंद केजरीवाल है. ऐसे ईमानदार आदमी पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप लगाए, झूठे केस किए, फर्जी केस किए.
While AAP netas hailed Atishi's elevation as chief minister,
सबने एक साथ मिलके आतिशी के नाम पे सहमति जताई.
rebel AAP MP Swati Maliwal attacked Atishi over her family's fight to stop hanging of parliament attack convict terrorist Afzal Guru.
दिल्ली के लिए एक बहुत दुखद दिन है. आज दिल्ली की मुख्यमंत्री एक ऐसी महिला आतिशी मारलेना जी बनने जा रही हैं, जिनके अपने परिवार ने आतंकवादी अफजल गुरु को फांसी की सजा से बचाने के लिए एक लंबी लड़ाई लड़ी. ये कितनी गलत बात है.
BJP questioned Atishi's elevation as Delhi chief minister and called her a puppet by Kejriwal, who will just be remote controlled.
फरवरी में चुनाव आने वाले हैं अगले साल, तो दिल्ली के लोग तो मन बना चुके हैं कि केजरीवाल जैसे लोग, आम आदमी जैसे लोगों को कभी भी राजनीति में कभी भी जगह नहीं देना चाहिए.
आज एक आंदोलन के बाहरी व्यक्ति को मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जा रहा है, वो भी किस व्यक्ति को, जिसके परिवार ने अफजल गुरु जैसे आतंकवादी को माफी दिलवाने के लिए पेटिशन दायर की थी. ऐसी नक्सली मानसिकता को बैकडोर से दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी पर बैठाने का पाप अरविंद केजरीवाल कर रहे हैं.
Atishi has strong support of Kejriwal and party top guns. Can she prove to be AAP's Brahmastra? With Amit Bharadwaj and Piyush Mishra in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, the latest news break that is coming in right now. The BJP, of course, taking on the Aam Aadmi Party over Atishi's appointment as Chief Minister, reiterating the urban Naxal town, stating Arvind Kejriwal's resignation is theatrics, a mere stunt. Why wasn't Atishi made Chief Minister 6 months ago? This has been said by Manoj Tiwari. Many suggest Manoj Tiwari could be the front runner as the Chief Minister face where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. Listen in.
आज आप बयान लीजिए सौरभ भारद्वाज का, आज उनका बदला हुआ बयान आएगा.
अभी आपने ये भी आरोप लगाया कि नक्सलवाद भी फैलेगा, उनको अर्बन नक्सल भी कहा, क्या कारण?
वो है आतिशी मार लेना, ये अर्बन नक्सली ही हैं. वो लोग जिस विचारधारा, मार लेना नाम उनका क्यों है? मार लेना मार्क्स और लेनिन दोनों को मिला करके इन्होंने, वैसे तो आतिशी सिंह है, वो उनके पिता का नाम विजय सिंह है, लेकिन उनके पिता क्या करते? अफजल गुरु को बचाने के लिए जो पिटीशन गई थी राष्ट्रपति महोदय को, उसको साइन किया उन्होंने और उसके लिए चंदा इकट्ठा किया है। तो ये अफजल गुरु के समर्थक हैं और ये अर्बन नक्सली ये लोग थे ही, हैं ही। अब आतिशी मार लेना, आज इनको मार लेना नाम से ना थोड़ा सा लगता है, नहीं मैं आतिशी सिंह हूँ। आतिशी मार लेना उनका नाम उन्होंने खुद रखा हुआ है और मार लेना का मतलब मार्क्स और लेनिन, मतलब हमारे गांव में कहते हैं ना 6 इंच छोटा कर देंगे, वही वाले हैं सब।
तो ये थे हमारे साथ सांसद मनोज तिवारी, जिन्होंने हमसे बातचीत करते हुए दिल्ली के नए मुख्यमंत्री जो बनने वाले हैं आतिशी मारलेना और दिल्ली के जो पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल, दोनों पर निशाना साधा और अपनी बात रखी। कैमरामैन संजय कुमार के साथ अनमोल बाली की दिल्ली से रिपोर्ट।
Well, the Bharatiya Janata Party is now going to continue to attack Atishi on the lines of calling her an urban Naxal. They have, since the morning, ever since the announcement was made that Atishi would be the successor to Arvind Kejriwal, one by one, Aam Aadmi Party, BJP leaders have come out and stated that Atishi's parents were the ones who supported the petition of Afzal Guru and have gone ahead to call her what they deem is an urban Naxal. You just heard Manoj Tiwari there. Manoj Tiwari, an MP from the Bharatiya Janata Party where Delhi is concerned, could be the front runner in the CM phase where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. Cutting across to Amit Bhardwaj very quickly to get in a word. Amit, get us up to speed. Is the Aam Aadmi Party now going to come out with a defense? Because clearly the BJP has got its strategy or mounting the strategy on Atishi, calling her an urban Naxal, going back to the antecedents of her parents, stating that they supported Afzal Guru's mercy petition.
Preeti, you'll see a change in Aam Aadmi Party's communication mechanism from here on. And so far, in the past 6 months specifically, when you had all these leaders going to the jail, and AAP was moreover in responsive mode. They were reacting to everything that BJP or the Congress party was leveling against them. And that's, you are chasing that, in that narrative, you are chasing something. But from that moment when Arvind Kejriwal announced his resignation, the Aam Aadmi Party's communication strategy has changed. Now they want to be the one setting the agenda, and they want the other parties to react to it. So whether the Aam Aadmi Party will come out with a justification about Atishi in this particular case, specifically in regards to this Naxal attack that is being done by the BJP, or even for that matter, the way Swati Maliwal, the rebel AAP MP, has raised question marks. I don't think Aam Aadmi Party is going to respond to it in the manner and fashion that BJP would want, because that would mean that AAP is responding on the agenda that is being set by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So they will moreover want to set their own agenda, and they would want the BJP to respond to it, the Congress party to respond to it, or there any opposition to respond to those agendas. So yes, until unless it becomes extremely a necessity, the AAP will not be reacting to these allegations. You would have reactions like one that came from Dilip Pandey as far as Swati's allegations were concerned, or maybe during the press conferences these leaders might just respond. But so far in the morning I'd also tried to ask a couple of AAP leaders about what Kapil Mishra of the BJP was saying, and they said that, look, we don't want to comment on what Kapil Mishra is saying right now. So clear-cut change in strategy of Aam Aadmi Party as far as communication narrative module is concerned, and hence there will be more on agenda setting note from here on and lesser on reaction mode, and that is why they would not want to have discussion on this particular issue, the allegation that is being put forward by the BJP. Back to you.
All right. So the Aam Aadmi Party would want to skirt it as of now. Let's see how big that, it actually gets. But really, taking our view as we went through the whole SWOT analysis, strengths and weaknesses for Atishi, but what really worked for her? Ultimately, the biggest thing that worked for her is that she enjoys complete trust of Arvind Kejriwal, and that was very important for Arvind Kejriwal to name a successor. Number 2, strong backing by top AAP netas. Number 3, managed Delhi government and party while Kejriwal was in jail. Number 4, knows Delhi bureaucracy well, biggest woman face of the Aam Aadmi Party. And there's also a number 6 in all of this. She would have to be, if you look at women chief ministers across the country, one of the most educated when it comes down to sheer education, and that would be Aatishi. Well, the rise of Aatishi from grassroots up Aam Aadmi Party worker to now Delhi's chief minister. Take a look.
मैं आतिशी मार्लेना
Meet the new Chief Minister of Delhi, Aatishi. In 2013, she kicked off a political journey with the Aam Aadmi Party and was key in the party's policy formulation. Since then, she has been helping the Aam Aadmi Party in designing its strategies and campaigns for polls. An MLA from Kalkaji, Aatishi entered the Delhi cabinet in March 2023 after Sisodia's resignation in connection with the now scrapped Delhi liquor policy case. She became front face of the AAP government ever since Sisodia was jailed. Aatishi had stood by AAP when Kejriwal's aide Bibab was accused of assaulting party MP Swati Maliwal. Aatishi called Maliwal a BJP agent.
ये पूरा स्वाति मालीवाल जी वाला किस्सा एक षड्यंत्र है जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने रचा है। स्वाति मालीवाल जी का जो एसीबी में केस चल रहा है, उसको इस्तेमाल करके स्वाति मालीवाल जी को इस पूरे षड्यंत्र का चेहरा बनाया गया होगा। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर है कि वो अलग अलग पार्टी के नेताओं पर, विपक्ष की पार्टियों के नेताओं पर केस करते हैं और उन पर दबाव बनाते हैं।
Aatishi also brings unavoidable controversy along with her because of her parents' fight for terrorist Afzal Guru. Her parents wrote mercy petition and fought to stop Afzal Guru's hanging, a fact highlighted by her opponents.
We are unhappy that Afzal has been made, in our political understanding, the scapegoat.
Aatishi was a sole woman in Kejriwal's cabinet with at least 14 portfolios as multiple AAP mantris got arrested in scam cases. She began her career working at the grassroots levels before joining AAP. And now she is the chief minister of the national capital, even though for a short period. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's immediately now cut across back to the Lieutenant Governor's residence, where joining me from there is my colleague Abhishek Anand. Abhishek, what can we expect? Because once in Delhi, a resignation is tendered, there is a huge process. It's complex in nature. The LG will have to send it to the Home Ministry, and then, of course, it makes its way to the President's office and then all the way back. By when do you reckon that Aatishi, along with her cabinet, would be able to take oath?
Well, Preeti, this is a very crucial time for the Aam Aadmi Party. The party wants this process to be as soon as possible. Number one, because the files which the party talks about, which they claim that are not being cleared, they want their CM to sign that files. Those files will be sent to the LG office. And number two, of course, are we going to see another tug of war on those files? Are we going to see another episode of the same kind of loggerhead of government versus LG cabinet, LG secretariat? So this is what is going to happen after this. Also, what about the cabinet? Is the cabinet which we see today is going to remain the same, or there will be changes? Remember, the CM had a lot of power, a lot of responsibilities. Will Aatishi continue with what Kejriwal had? Will Aatishi be able to perform in pressure under, the circumstances in when the party is going to contest elections in Delhi? The kind of, statement Aatishi has given is very crucial. The party is going to ensure that the mohalla clinics are working. The party is going to ensure that the free electricity is there, the free water is there, and of course the 1,000 rupees per women pension for Delhi. This is the file on which the party is cashing on. The party is thinking that this will be...
That file would need to be cleared
changer.
by Atishi, and that's going to be crucial because it will get into another confrontation where the Lieutenant Governor is concerned. Where Arvind Kejriwal is concerned right now, viewers, in terms of the powers, he doesn't have a single portfolio. So he doesn't have any portfolios right now, but Atishi now would be stepping in and managing about 14 portfolios. Will she keep all of them? That's the big question. But once again, going back to Abhishek Anand, ultimately, the stage is set for a pitched battle because the Lieutenant Governor will be opposing the Chief Minister. In this case, the designate right now, Atishi, when it comes down to crucial files, the direct cash transfer before elections to women.
Well, certainly, Preeti, this is the scheme on which the party is counting on. See, there are a lot of things on which party claims that they will come back to power again. But this scheme is very crucial, is very important for the party, and all the meetings are happening because of this. And the party says that the CM will definitely sign this particular file, and ultimately this file will reach here, right at the LG's secretariat. So after that, what happens, that will be really interesting. The move that party has taken, it's a huge move. Working CM is resigning from his post just to get those files signed and, get those things on the ground.
Abhishek, stay on with me. The visuals that we are just playing right now is Atishi and the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, and with him on the side is, of course, Arvind Kejriwal. All smiles. Arvind Kejriwal giving in his resignation, and then that's one picture, one set of pictures where Arvind Kejriwal is resigning. Then the other second set of pictures is Atishi taking claim and a bouquet of flowers being offered by the LG, Mr. Saxena, Vinay Saxena, to Atishi on accepting her staking claim to be the next chief minister. All smiles there, but this is really not the kind of relationship that the LG and the Delhi government enjoys. You can see Gopal Rai there, you have Arvind Kejriwal, and then this picture with Arvind Kejriwal and the Lieutenant Governor. All of that took place in a matter of just minutes. Arvind Kejriwal walking in, resigning, and after that, moving out of the LG's residence only in his car. No cavalcade, coming back to the Aam Aadmi. And then it was Atishi who staked claim, and you have the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi congratulating her with that bouquet. All right, okay, so let's cut across back to my colleague Abhishek Anand, who is joining us for more on these images that are coming in from the Lieutenant Governor's office. Abhishek, usually it's the government of Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party government, and the LG office at loggerheads every time. One rare picture where it's all smiles, be it tendering in of the resignation or the letter to stake claim by Atishi.
Well, Preeti, certainly the visuals are, very different from the regular affairs between the LG Secretariat and the Delhi government and the Delhi cabinet. But after this resignation and after Atishi takes oath as the CM, will there be the same kind of relations? Will there be all smiles on faces, or will there be the same kind of tug of war? The LG Secretariat and the government are again on loggerheads on so many issues like clearing files, which is the most important thing, and this is one of the reasons why there is going to be a new CM. The new CM designate Atishi is going to sign all those files. So,
all right.
yes,
Okay, Abhishek Anand, cutting you short, we're going to come right back to you. These images coming in, Arvind Kejriwal tendering in his resignation. Then that other set of image, you had Atishi, you had Imran Hussain right next to her, you had Gopal Rai, and you had Arvind Kejriwal in that picture. Imran Hussain and Gopal Rai are both, of course, cabinet ministers. All right, the latest news break now coming in. New Kolkata Police Commissioner has been appointed by the West Bengal government. Manoj Verma has replaced Vineet Goyal as CP. IPS Deepak Sarkar has been appointed as new DCP in Kolkata Police. New health officers also appointed. Now, at the back of it, where Mamta has practically met most demands of the doctors, she has now appealed to the doctors to return to work, call off their strike. Will they do so? That is the big question. But all of that right now coming in terms of Mamta Banerjee practically bowing down to the demands of the doctors who've been on protest against even the diktat of the Supreme Court. They wanted the removal of the police commissioner, and that's what's happened. Mamta Banerjee has made sure that heads have rolled not just in the health department but also in the Kolkata police. Meanwhile, hearing of the matter linked to a rape and murder of the doctor at Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College at hospital in the Supreme Court said the CBI is pursuing multiple leads. Mamta Banerjee, like I pointed out, announced the removal of Kolkata Police Commissioner Vineet Goyal and the Deputy Commissioner North, who faced bribery allegations from the family of the trainee doctor.
After spending almost 50 days on the streets, a major victory for junior doctors in Kolkata. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee bowed to the doctors and accepted several of their demands. The Chief Minister has removed Kolkata Police Commissioner Vineet Goyal, Deputy Commissioner of Kolkata Police North, and 2 Health Ministry officials. But not all issues are resolved. Doctors have asked Mamata why there is no action against the State Health Secretary. A 3-judge bench headed by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud on Tuesday appealed to the junior doctors yet again to join work. The bench, which had taken up the RG Kar Hospital rape and murder suo motu, said that what the CBI had revealed in its probe was very disturbing. The CGI said that the CBI had unearthed several pieces of important evidence on destruction of evidence and tampering with the crime scene. The court noted that the safety measure barring women doctors from night shifts would prejudice their careers. It asked the Bengal government to take steps to ensure security for women who work night shifts.
I won't give again details here of the date because it will dislocate the investigation. We don't want someone to take advantage of it as a technical issue later on. Yes. But what the CBI has revealed in its status report is worse. It is really disturbing.
I have understood what they have disclosed. I know what is where they are heading. That's why I'm not being able to.
What you are flagging is of the utmost concern. I can only share with you that we are ourselves disturbed by what we have said, and this is what CBI itself told us.
Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, today marks 100 days of the NDA government in power, also the 74th birthday of the Prime Minister. Union Minister Amit Shah highlighted the achievements of the government. Shah said that the centre will be implementing One Nation, One Poll in its present tenure. Amit Shah also spoke about incidents of rail sabotages and said that efforts were underway to put an end to these incidents. Now addressing a rally at Ahmedabad in Gujarat, Prime Minister Modi listed out the achievements by his new cabinet within 100 days of being in power. Modi accused the opposition of insulting him in the first 100 days of the BJP-led NDA government's third term and said he chose not to respond to any of their taunts and ensure the completion of the government's agenda during the period.
आज केंद्र की एनडीए सरकार के 100 दिन भी हो रहे हैं। इस दौरान गरीब, किसान, नौजवान और नारी शक्ति के सशक्तिकरण के लिए बड़े बड़े फैसले लिए गए हैं। बीते 100 दिन में तय हुआ कि गरीबों के लिए 3 करोड़ पक्के घर बनाएंगे। बीते 100 दिनों में नौजवानों के लिए 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए का पीएम पैकेज घोषित किया गया है। युवा साथियों को इसका बहुत लाभ होगा।
100 दिन में हमने जो ये घटनाओं का मूल है, भारत म्यांमार सीमा, इसका फेंसिंग शुरू कर दिया है। 30 किलोमीटर फेंसिंग समाप्त हो चुका है और पूरी 1500 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा जो सीमा है, इसको फेंसिंग करने का बजट भारत सरकार ने अप्रूव कर दिया है। 1 नंबर 2, हमने वहां पर स्ट्रेटेजिक जगहों पर सीआरपीएफ को सफलतापूर्वक लॉन्च करने का कार्यक्रम भी समाप्त कर दिया है। नंबर 3, हमने जो घुसपैठ होती थी उसको रोकने के लिए म्यांमार और भारत के बीच में जो आवाजाही का एक समझौता था, उसको भारत की ओर से रद्द कर सिर्फ वीजा के बेस पर ही आ जा सकेंगे, ये कानून भी लाए हैं।
Piyush ji, the big difference between the past 10 years and the past 100 days is that the BJP now needs the support of allies like the Janata Dal United and the TDP, which wasn't the case earlier. As one of the senior most ministers in this government, can you explain how that has internally changed the nature of governance? I know the government is seeking to convey continuity, but from within, from your lens, how is it having to take allies on board different from being able to do your own thing without being dependent on what allies think of your decisions?
Rahul, you are missing the Honorable Prime Minister's continuous effort over 10 years to work along with his friends. So right from 2014, 19 and now 24, in each of the 3 governments, we had representatives of our allies. Even in 14 and 19, when we on our own had an absolute majority, the BJP, we respected our alliance, the National Democratic Alliance. And we did not tell the allies that now you're not required, so we'll form our own government. And that is the credibility of a tall leader, a visionary, and a leader who's clearly today the world's most popular leader. On his birthday today, as we celebrate Seva Divas, as we celebrate Vishwakarma Jayanti, as we celebrate Anant Chaturdashi, as we all pledge ourselves to Swachhata, I think it's a great matter of pride for the nation that after 60 years, we have a popular leader, a Prime Minister who's been sworn in the 3rd time, along with our friendly parties in the National Democratic Alliance, and all of us with shared thinking, with a common agenda, supporting the development of the country to become a developed nation by 2047. This shared vision powers this government to make breakthroughs and achieve a big agenda in the very first 100 days itself.
Piyush ji, in the briefing the government did over the weekend and even in the press conference by the Home Minister this morning, the government explained what they've been able to achieve in the last 100 days. The opposition, though, says these have been 100 days that have been marked by U-turns, which wasn't the case in the past 10 years. From the decision to hire bureaucrats through the lateral entry, the decision to take back the broadcast bill, sending the Waqf board to a joint parliamentary committee, changing the long-term capital gains tax and indexation, which was announced in the budget, and coming up with a modified national pension scheme. They're saying there are multiple policy reversals which show that this government isn't as strong as the first 2 avatars of the Modi government. How do you respond to this critique of the opposition?
Rahul, I think you have been observing our government's efforts and work and Mr. Prime Minister's own thinking for the last many, many years, whether it was in Gujarat, whether it's in Delhi at the central government. You know, he's the longest serving popular leader elected by the people when you combine his work as a chief minister and the prime minister. But one thing which he has consistently followed and which is a distinct trait of a good leader is that he's a listening leader. He's a leader who's responsive to the need of the times and the needs of the people. He has never shied away from being willing to change track, but always has remained on the course to do what is best for the country. So I don't think there's been any U-turn. If at all we allowed both options, the indexation in long-term capital gains and the new simplified version of capital gains, it's only a reflection of a listening government who felt that nobody should be disadvantaged because of our actions. The 45 people who were sought to be recruited through lateral entry, the policy needed a little tweaking. In fact, when we introduced lateral entry, it was declared by the Home Ministry that it will respect all the necessary government procurement principles. And therefore, we found that this needs to be corrected and probably brought in another form. So I don't see any rollback. These are small issues where we have demonstrated to the people of India that this government and this leader cares for his people, listens to them, and is always willing to have changes along the way.
विपक्ष ये कह रहा है कि सरकार जो है वो पहले 6 कदम चलती थी 10 सालों में, अब 4 कदम आगे जाती है, 2 कदम पीछे आ जाती है। उनका कहना है कि वक्फ बोर्ड का बिल लेके आए आप, ज्वाइंट कमेटी में आपको भेजने के लिए मजबूरी हो गई क्योंकि कुछ आपके सहयोगी दल की
मजबूरी नहीं है। और डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज में जिस भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी की आस्था होगी वो चाहेगा जो भी फैसले लिए जाए सामान्यतः उस पर एक कंसेंसस बनाने की कोशिश उस सरकार को करनी चाहिए जो कि लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों में विश्वास करती है। तो हम सब जितने भी एनडीए के लोग हैं वो लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों में विश्वास करने वाले लोग हैं।
वो ये कह रहे हैं
ये फैसला किया नहीं। हम तो वैसे भी हमारी मेजॉरिटी है संसद में, संसद के दोनों सदनों में, हम इसे पारित भी करा सकते थे।
वो कह रहे हैं लेटरल एंट्री जो है आपने वापस ली, आपने ब्रॉडकास्ट ड्राफ्ट बिल को वापस ले लिया। तमाम ऐसे मुद्दे हैं जिस पर वो ये कह रहे हैं कि सरकार आगे बढ़ी, हमने उनको जबरदस्ती ये कहा कि
किसी के दबाव में नहीं, किसी के दबाव में नहीं। कभी कभी कुछ चीजें ऐसी भी होती हैं जो कि जिनके संबंध में कुछ विचार कभी कुछ और करने की आवश्यकता होती है, इसलिए स्वाभाविक है कोई भी सरकार रहती है सब करती रहती है। किसी के दबाव में काम करने वाली सरकार नहीं है।
नेता
जहां तक मैं समझता हूं कि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर का विल पावर है, भारत ही नहीं सारी दुनिया जानती है। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ये स्ट्रांग विल पावर के पॉलिटिकल लीडर